Hi, it's Cassie, and I'm so excited for this week's journal page. We are going to be looking at the technique of cling wrap. So we are in week 3 of this box, and here we go. It says create a watercolor background with the oil pastels. While it's wet, put wrinkled cling wrap on top and let it dry. Okay, this is a really great technique when you want a page to get started and you want some like flat texture, if that makes sense. And we can you can use all sorts of things to create a watercolor background. It doesn't have to be the oil pastels, but obviously these came in your kit this month, so that's what we're going to use. But you could do this with sprays, any kind of spray. If you have an ink pad that you like kind of move around and get it wet, and as long as it's nice and wet, and you can put your cling wrap on and kind of wrinkle it up and leave it on there to dry, you're going to get all those weird wrinkle lines in there, and it's going to look super cool when it dries. So again, we're going to do this in our journal because we can do anything in our journal, right? But then this technique hopefully could translate for you to whatever else you like to do in the crafty world, making cards or scrapbook pages or literally anything else, any kind of mixed media, canvas or page or anything like that. So this really is just a technique to maybe give you a new idea or just to reinvigorate something you learned before, and yeah, and let you have fun and play with it and create a cool background. So we are definitely going to use the oil pastels to make this background, but I do want to also offer, if you have any way to add shimmer, if you have dilution shimmer spray that was in a different kit, or this is just like a water brush pen, you know, it's got the water brush kind of thing here, but it's got shimmer in it. And one thing I just want to offer, like, you can do this with just the oil pastels. You won't have the shimmer, but it'll still look amazing. But sometimes adding that shimmer and letting it wrinkle up, you get like different pockets and lines where the material, like the shimmer material, kind of collects, and that just gives you another like layer of visual interest and looks really cool. So I just wanted to offer that up. I brought this marker over just so we could add some shimmer so I can show you what that looks like, but you definitely don't have to do that. Okay, so if you only have your water brush pen, you could use this to get your page wet because there's definitely water in there. But if you have a water bottle, I would recommend using this. It's just going to be easier. Okay, so there's a couple ways you can approach this technique. So first, let me get my oil pastels out here. And I think for this one, for this technique, I would recommend the background be either cool colors or warm colors, unless you want brown, which is fine if you do. Brown is a perfectly beautiful, wonderful color. But if you don't want mud or brown, I would stick with either cool or warm colors just for your background. You can always put a contrasting color on top with your focal point if you want, but just to avoid any sort of mud making, that would be my recommendation. I'm going to go with warm colors because I feel like I've been using cool colors a lot lately, which I love and they're amazing, but I'm kind of feeling like I need to have some warm colors. So I am starting with magenta, and there's, like I said, excuse me, there's a couple ways that you can go about putting the pigment onto your paper. So you can just start coloring, right? And you can do really light and get a little bit of pigment. You can press really hard and get a lot of pigment, totally up to you, okay? So since I'm going warm here, we're gonna do pink and yellow. I'll put some yellow up here. I want a lot of yellow. Keep it nice and bright. Okay, and then let's see what the red looks like. I don't know if I want, ooh, that's pretty. Okay, we'll just do a little bit of red and some orange. Why not? We'll just have fun and have all the colors. So this is one way to do it. Put your color down, scribble it wherever you want, and then come in with a water brush to start to loosen it up, you can then use your finger, right, and move the colors around like that, like we've done before. Let me get my towel here. Or you could take your water brush once the color is down and use that to move your color around, and that's nice. That gives you a little bit more control too, and that looks good. Okay, another way is, let's say right here, I don't know, I meant to leave more open space and I forgot. I got too excited with all these pretty colors. So let's just put a little bit of water down here, okay? And then take my red crayon, and then you can always get it wet, the paper wet, and then color with this. Remember another way you can apply this, let's do the magenta, because I feel like there's not enough, is to use your water brush, apply it right to here, and then you get super controlled. Ooh, let's see. We're not getting much from that. I know we can. Hold on, maybe I just need to get it more wet. So you can do that way, or you can get this wet, dip it in water, or get it wet like this, and then color with this directly onto the page, and that gets you some more pigment on there as well. So there's lots of ways to get your pigment on the paper. I'm just going to get this baby wet, and I guess maybe I'll use my water brush. And I really don't care if the colors are mixing up, right, because these are all warm colors. I do want to have a little separation because I like the red, I like the orange, you know, I like all the different things going on. But I definitely want some overlap too. So I'm just going to color each one individually, and then kind of where they're meeting, I'm just going to blur the lines a little bit. Ooh, I made a different kind of orange up there with that magenta and yellow. I love the brightness of the yellow. I think this definitely needs brightness. Okay, so the goal here is to cover your page as much or as little as you want. If you want some white space, cool, leave white space. No rules, right? No rules at all. I want a little bit more yellow actually, because I think I want some more brightness. So what I'm going to do is take my art towel and just kind of pick some of that color up because it was a little more dark than I wanted. I'm going to put my yellow back down. Ooh, it's like crumbling off because it's wet. So fun. This is really cool and fun to play with. I'm having a good time with these. I hope you are too. These are really fun. Something different that we don't normally play with. So I've sprayed it with water and I'm using my water brush just to really get it nice and wet. Okay. Okay, I'm happy with that amount of yellow. I think that looks pretty cool. Okay, so now when I'm all done, oh, I got to add my shimmer. That's why I didn't add a lot of magenta, because I knew I was coming in with this baby. And she is dark. But she's going to add lots of really awesome shimmer here and there. Okay, nice. It's going to be beautiful. Okay, then I'm just going to, whoa, totally get this wet, okay? And then I'm going to take my cling wrap, tear a piece off, okay, and then I'm going to kind of wrinkle it up, scrunch it up. Don't worry about it. Wrinkle it up, make sure it fits, you know, in a decent amount of your page. However much you want to have this texture. It doesn't have to be all of it. It could be a little strip. It could be the whole, covering the whole page. Whatever you want, okay? Let it be wrinkled and just smush it down. And don't worry about what's happening underneath, because the magic will happen when it dries. So the one thing about this, though, is that you do have to let this sit and dry. And you really kind of have to let it sit and dry till it's dry naturally, and not use a heat tool, because you've got plastic wrap on here. You can't really use a heat tool on it. So you got to be patient. You got to, I'm going to put some more right here. I want more action right there. Okay. So yeah, you just have to be chill, let it go, go work on something else, come back later. I'll come back to you when this is dry and we'll finish the page. Okay, so the cling wrap has dried. I'm taking it off. Really cool colors on here, but that is all done. So we're going to set that aside. And look at this background now. How cool is this? I'm just bringing it nice and close so you can see all the fun little textures and little weird shapes that you wouldn't get any other way. And let's see if we can, oh look at, and there's the shimmer. You see, remember I used that this shimmer marker. That's the reason I did it, just to show you kind of how the shimmer moves around the page when you add it and how cool that looks. I mean, this is one of my favorite ways to make a background because it's very organic, it's, you know, it's unpredictable, and it, again, can't really be achieved too many other ways. Another way you can use the cling wrap that we didn't talk about, but when, like, let's say this background is dry now, okay, and let's say then, let's just try it. We'll just do it together right now. So I'm going to take my my marker here that has the shimmer in it, okay? And you could do this with anything. It could be with a, you know, with watercolor paint, gouache. Like you could color with those pastels. You could do lots of stuff, right? But anyway, I'm just coloring on the cling wrap, and then I'm going to scrunch it up and just like press it down. And now you're going to get totally different look, right? You could stamp into this with ink, like with a stamp pad, and it just becomes another way to make some marks. And now these marks are a lot darker, and they're kind of just sitting on top, and look at how cool that is. So I think I might actually do a few more because I really like the way that turned out. Am I doing it the right way? The problem is, I think it goes this way. Yeah, it's clear, so then I forget which way's which. So this is a nice marker because I just squeeze it and more juice comes out. So I'm just putting a little bit more just in that top half. And again, this is just, you know, just play with the cling wrap, have fun with it, see what you can do, see how it can serve you. And there we go. I like that. I'm moving that cling wrap out of the way. It's all done. But there you go. You can finish it up with a little bit of extra interesting texture. And I am so in love with this background. I want to make like 20 more. So anyway, what else can you do? So now you can put your focal point on top. You can let it be abstract. You could take a Posca pen or any kind of pen and, like, you know, draw lines through here. You could make this into, you know what? I was going to do something totally different, but now that I'm saying these words out loud, I kind of want to do this. So let's just do it because it's fun. We just go with the flow, right? And so I see a flower right here. So I'm actually going to use my non-dominant hand because it's going to make it just more fun and whimsy. Okay. So I see like the stem here, and then I see this big flower right here, and I can give it some petals, you know, just whatever kind of flower it wants to be. This is a really thin, and I kind of want thicker lines. I like those lines, but I think it would be better if I had slightly thicker line. So I've got a Pebeo acrylic paint marker, you know, this is just going to give me a little thicker line so you can see it better. So I'm still going left-handed here. Oh, I got to prime it. Okay, hold on. Let's prime it. I'll just do it right on my glass mat here. Okay, it seems like it's primed. I'm worried that I might have damaged this tip, this nib, another time I was using it. Okay, let's see. It seems to be doing okay. So I'm just going to go, and I like it. Nope. I gotta go slow here. I like it when it's when the lines are really just kind of jaggedy and all over the place and not perfect, like, at all, not even trying to pretend to be perfect. You know, it's just really fun. It's free. It's so free. I encourage you to try something like this. If you haven't tried non-dominant hand drawing or sketching or doodling or whatever, I really encourage you to try that. Look at how pretty that is. It's just like, it's got its own little charm. You know what I mean? And there's no, you know, there's no need for it to be perfect in any way. It's perfect in the way that it is. Like, I think that's perfect. I absolutely love it. I think I'm going to put some little, like, stamen things up here. whatever pops in your brain. Look at my circles, my little bits at the top are just little scribbles. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I think I also would like to have, you know, just some little dots in this part. Maybe in the spot where you might do some shading, like if you were just coloring, you know. If you were coloring this and you were going to do like shades and tones and do light to dark and do that kind of thing, maybe you put dots here instead. Maybe you do hash marks or lines, whatever you want to do. Okay, so this one I'm going to, still with my non-dominant hand, looks so crazy and I absolutely adore it. This one I'm just going to do halfway, so I like having lines on just part of it. Okay, you see they're different? But they're both awesome. I love them both. This over here is another smaller flower. And this flower is going to have like different kinds of petals. Okay? And I think I wrecked this nib because it dries out too fast and it shouldn't dry out ever. And that's not this marker's fault necessarily. I think I used it too many times when the ink or the paint or whatever I was working on wasn't quite dry enough. So that's my fault. Okay, so now we've got, let me pump that a little bit more. I've got my stem here. That's a cute little flower. I'm going to put dots in the middle for like where the center part is. Okay, love this so much. I see some things right here. I don't know what they can be, so I think I'm just going to make them like what they are, just whatever the shape is. That's really cute. Maybe it's another flower. Now that I'm drawing this, I see another flower, or maybe even just like a leaf, like a piece of greenery. Okay, do you see what I'm doing? I'm just finding the picture within the background. Okay? And yours doesn't, and you know, if you're going to try this, you don't have to find flowers. You could find a face or an animal or a whatever, literally whatever. It could just be shapes. It could be just organic shapes. Look at that. That's so cute and charming. I totally love this. I'm so excited. I had a totally different direction I was going to finish this project with. I was going to stamp and put some words and be done with it, but once I saw kind of how things flowed, I just saw flowers and I just really wanted to draw them. And if you're like, but I'm not really a good drawer, I'm not confident with my, you know, with your dominant hand, play with your non-dominant hand. Then there's no pressure. There's zero pressure right now. You know what I mean? I'm sorry, I keep like harping on this, but I think it's really important for us to just not put pressure on ourselves. Art is meant to just be fun and therapeutic and playful and exploratory, and, you know, let it be those things. And don't put any pressure on your art. Just let it be what it is. I promise. You will have a better time and you'll be better for it, and your art will be better for it. I promise. Okay, I'm pretty happy actually. Let's just put some dots in the sky. I like that. And this one maybe down here. And this one could have like little lines on the bottom. You see, this one is gonna have oh, I think I like lines on this side. Yeah. So, and having those repeating shapes here and there also help to bring it all together in the end. Okay? So that is all I'm going to do. I'm going to put a couple dots right here, and they're very messy. I'm going to put a couple down here. Okay? And I'm happy. I love this. Let's see, do we want a saying? What do we want to say? I'm just going to put be free, because that's what I want you to do. I want you to be free. And this is my message. And your message doesn't have to come from, you know, I often, I'm going to clean this really quick. You know, I often use those little books, right, that have the, whoops, shoot. I hope I didn't mess it up. I took that whole nib right out of there. Okay, hopefully it's still good. you know, I love the little sticker books with the phrases in them. They're so easy and useful, right? They really are. And I love them, and I will always have them, and I will always use them. And I hope to make my own that I can share with you guys at some point, because I just think they're great. But there is something to be said for your own handwriting, whether you really like your handwriting or not. It's okay. I don't particularly love my handwriting, but I think it's important. And, you know, it's fun to practice. And maybe you're going to use your own handwriting here and there and be like, maybe I want to work on that. Maybe you want to work on some lettering. Okay, look at that B. It's also left-handed. You could switch to your right hand if you're gonna, or your dominant hand, if you're gonna do words. But I'm saying, why, you know, just let it be free. Be free. Okay. I love this page. I think this is probably one of my favorite pages so far from this journaling adventure that we're on, because I've really, you know, I grow right along with you guys, and being a teacher here and trying to give you just some guidance and direction and how you can move through this process is also really thoughtful for me, you know, and I learn a lot along the way as well. And I'm learning to, you know, different ideas and ways to teach you how to let go. And I hope that's coming across, and I hope that you're getting that. And if you're not, I hope that you tell me. But this page is amazing. I love it so much. It's very free. I love the message. I love the background. The colors are fun. And I cannot wait to see what you come up with for this cling wrap technique card. All right, here you go. That is it. I am done. I will look for your projects in the group, and I can't wait to see them. Have a wonderful, wonderful day. Bye.